through a couple conversations I've had with other folks this week, I've recognized is as a community, um, we need to do a better job of not being afraid of paperwork, but making sure our paperwork is straight. You dig what I'm saying? I talked to someone earlier this week who shall remain nameless, who was talking about like losing certain properties. And one of the issues is they were getting notices, like, from a government agency about what was going on with the properties, but they were just ignoring them. And I'm like, well, why are you ignoring them? Because it was seemed problematic and it would go away. I said, no, life doesn't work that way. You got to be able. And what I recognize is a lot of times it's either our ego, our lack of understanding, and there's nothing wrong with not understanding, right? A lot of stuff I don't understand, I'll call Courtney. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find someone that you trust or find someone in the community that you can trust to help you with things that you don't understand. But we have to do a better job as a community as it pertains to paperwork, because when me and Corey were talking, Corey, matter of fact, I'll let you tell your own story about what happened with this new property you acquired.
So the paperwork gangsters didn't get me with the property. What happened is I acquired the property, and me and the wife acquired the property. We were going to go check it out, change the locks, set it up so we could do whatever we want to do with it, either sell it or fix it up and put somebody in it. And we go to go do that, and we go to change the locks, and the locksmith is changing the locks, and somebody come walking to the front door. There's a whole squatter in the joint. And so what happened is, previously, the person who previously owned it, they had rolled out, and the dude who was currently in there, the squatter, he got paroled back into the crib. So, because that was his last place that he lived before he got put away. And so, he needed some time to get out. So he ain't even out yet. He's still chilling in the crib. But, it takes time, especially with the holidays that just passed, to get that kind of paperwork set up. So I gave him a few days to go ahead and get himself together. So Squatty McSquatterson got a few days before it's time for my paperwork gangsters get on his ass.
And no, the funny thing is you did something honorable by giving him a certain amount of time, but the conversation we were having, I was like, all right, so now at this point, as you move forward on the other side of this, you have to keep your paperwork straight.
Oh yeah.
Paperwork is important.
Oh yeah. How I acquired the house is because somebody paperwork was jammed all up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like somebody paperwork was jammed up, and this person was a POS. So I just grabbed the property. I was like, cool, you want to be a POS? Go ahead, let me go ahead and I put the paperwork gangster into action and grab.
Yeah.
So
and I think about that, right? Because we know just how much wealth is lost because of paperwork, right? We see it all the time. Like one of our slogans is "Stop losing Granny's house," right? We see it all the time on that. But I think about just how many people may have had like brokerage accounts. You got the T-shirt on right now. I got the Deeds and Dividends T-shirt. But anyway, I can only imagine how many brokerage accounts are lost because of lack of paperwork. How many retirement accounts are lost because someone doesn't know what the paperwork is. One of the things I recognize is when my mom passed, she had multiple insurance policies, right? And it took me a while because I was grieving to cash out on a couple of them. And when I contacted them, right, I'm like, yo, what's good? The lady, me just had a conversation with the lady. She was like, that if you don't contact us, we'll never contact you. She was like, so, and we just got into a conversation, and she said, so, just imagine how many people have insurance who don't let their heirs know where the insurance policy or paperwork is, and it just goes away. It just goes, you know what I'm saying? So that's a whole other aspect of it. What really made me start thinking about is this. As we, teach more people about the crypto space.
We was just talking about this.
It's very exciting. You got people like taking their foray. Shout out to GC, who's like the algo king now. People like their different coins. You already know what I'm getting ready to say. I'm not going to poop on none of y'all shit coins, but it's okay. You got NFTs. You got DeFi. You got DAOs. You had ICOs years ago. And crypto moves so fast that who knows what it'll be a couple months from now. But the point is, as people start to foray in all this stuff, and I've seen Jamar and DCG shot to make jokes about, like, yo, I got so many wilds and so much stuff going on. I'll be forgetting about thousands of dollars over here. And that made me think, though, like, and not him, because he has all his stuff together. Like, the brother is brilliant. I'm not talking about him. I'm saying in general, as more of us get into this space and we start to try different things, how much will be lost? Because imagine you're staking on this random site over here and you're making X amount of dollars there. You got NFTs here and NFTs there, and you got coins on this exchange, coins on that exchange. You got 15 wallets. You know what I mean? Imagine something happens to you. How do you make sure that that wealth isn't lost? Right? It's one thing to talk about acquiring wealth like we talk about all the time, but what about maintaining it and passing it to the next generation? So for my folks in crypto, make sure you keep detailed notes. What I started doing,
I got notes right here. This is part of my crypto notes that I this is for my family. I just went and grabbed some little black books. You gave me that out there.
Yeah, that was my idea. But what I did is
I just grabbed some little black books, right? So that I can, every time I get into something new, I can put the information down and then leave it for them to get, right? Because if I'm going to go ahead and go get this money, like I'm going to go get this money, somebody got to be able to do something with it.
So I'm so afraid of, like, God forbid something happened to me, and like as much as I've acquired in crypto, like not being able to pass, like, to my family. What I started thinking about doing, and I had, just an idea. So I have the black books, and I even keep those decentralized. I got one in the safety deposit box. My brother got one. I got one. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there are different places. So if something happens to one, I still got others. But the way I keep my Bitcoin, it's another conversation Corey and I had this week. I was telling him about, and even in our classes, I talk about having multiple hardware wallets. But I kind of like switched that up moving into 2022. I started using what's known as multi-sig. And just not to get too technical, but multi-sig is where you create, say, a Bitcoin wallet. And in order for you to move anything out of, it's actually called a vault. You put it in a vault. In order for anything to move off of that vault, you have to have a signature on multiple hardware wallets or even hot wallets. So for mine, and you can set it up as 2 of 3, 3 of 5, 3 of 7. So I can actually set up 7 different hardware wallets. And in order for me to move funds, I have to approve it on at least 3 of those 7. What that does is it protects it from hackers. Someone can hack my hot wallet, hack my cold wallet. You have to have at least 3 signatures. But my point in saying that is, as you start to acquire more things and it gets more complex, what I'm starting to think about doing, though, Core, is literally getting the Zoom, recording the Zoom, and showing me making, like, how to get to certain stuff.
You got to.
And saving that video, right? So get a little micro SD card and put that with the black book. Like, yo, if something happened to me, this is how you get to the stuff. And we're not even talking about like wills and trusts, because I don't want Courtney to cuss us out, but you got to have your wills, got to have your trust. But I'm talking about, if I leave in my will that you get all this stuff, right? You have no idea how to get to it.
Even if you get it, how do you access it? Like, you're going to have to pay somebody to access it. Like, you're literally going to have to pay someone else to access it.